And there we are. Yes. All right. There it goes. I was waiting. I was like, okay, going? Is it not going? All right. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Hope your week is going well so far. Middle of the week. I got a shave. Looking at myself, I can see myself in the picture. I'm like, okay. After the stream, we'll be breaking out with the razor. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. Before we get into the stream, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. So please be decent. If you cannot follow those easy, simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue with the wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate that. All right. Oh, excuse me. Can I help you? What? We're going to do a live stream. We're doing to do a live stream. What? We can't do nothing now. Later. She's a big child. Okay. All right. Down you go. Oh my God. I got to tell you. So I just started reading. Stop. No. Be good. No. No. Now is not the time. You've been quiet all night. Not because I'm going to live stream. You're going to act like a goof. Behave. So I just started reading Stephen King's latest book. Stop. Down. No. No. I don't care. Worse than a child. So anyway, she's something else. Actually, I got a debt. I actually have to text Heather. Let me do that real quick, guys, because I don't know what the egg count is. Because she didn't tell me. All right. So we'll get that information. All right. So anyway, so I started reading Stephen King's newest book, right? And of course, this book is about a story this kid is telling, and I'm sure it's got twists and turns. But in the start of this book, he's talking about this old man and the relationship this old man has with his German Shepherd, and how and the whole dynamics of it. And I'm just like, oh my God! All right, I got the answer from her. All right, good. All right, um, so I'm like that correlation and that relationship this guy has with his German Shepherd, and I'm like, oh my God! I start. So I mean, she's 2 years old. All right, Hella is 2 years old, and that closeness that I have with this crazy dog already. I think about at some point in the future, I'm going to lose her, and it makes me very very sad thinking about that. Not that I dwell on those type of things because I sure don't, but when I start thinking about that, I start thinking, oh my God. Now, if we're close, the relationship I have with my dog and we're as close and as tight as we are now, could you imagine 5, 6 years down the road how bad that'll be? Yeah, don't want to even think about it. But that's why, one of the reasons why I would like to, breed her, have a couple of her puppies and have them here as well. So, that's kind of, no, I went today. I was out today and I bought her some bones, some dog bones. And so you get that with the marrow in there, and she's got one that she's worked on pretty good. And I have a few more, two or three more. So, but anyway, so yeah, that was reading that story and seeing that part of it just kind of put me in a weird place. And I'm like, oh my God, don't get me thinking about that, Stephen King, that is. So anyway, all right. So we're going to be talking about this railroad strike. Still looks like it may happen. The railroad workers, the one union, uh, voted on this contract. They were doing to do a 5-year contract that was hopefully helped Ed my new 44 kick my butt today. Yeah, I'm sure. Sure, looks like it's got a nice kick to it, especially with a barrel that long. I'm sure. I like a 45 better than a 44. 45s are, I don't know, I just definitely still has the kick, but it's a good weapon. But they're just big. That's the problem. They're just big. Now she got her bones, so now she's happy. All right. So, but anyway, they're talking of they did a vote on this 5-year contract, and 57% said no, which means if they do not get a contract in place, that they will go on strike no sooner than the 19th of November, right around election time. Imagine that, right? So, should be interesting to see what happens with that. And, obviously that would be after the election, but it's interesting to see what happens with that, how those negotiations go. It was when they did that and they came up with that deal, and then it has to be, and this is what kills me about how this works out for these poor people that you're in a union, right? They're supposed to have your back. So the government has to step in, negotiate with the big business. Who, let's see, does big business have government officials in their pocket? Not saying they do, not saying they don't, but it's an interesting concept, right? But anyway, so they come in, supposedly negotiate this contract, which a lot of things were very vague as far as that goes. A lot of people were not happy, obviously, with that deal. So they have, after they come up with the deal, then they have to have their cooling off period. That's which is what we're in now, and then they voted on it. And so they voted on it, and they have rejected that offer. So they're obviously still actively working on negotiating a new contract. Uh, you know, if that's going to be able to be done. How hard is it when you have a business that makes as much money? Yeah, 30, yeah, cooking off period. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't get the whole cooling off period. Either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Do they had time to go over it? Apparently, like I said, the workers did not like what they saw. A lot of them, the majority of them, so they have elected not to take that deal. Which again, getting raises and all that, that's great. Is that keeping up with inflation? Maybe yes, maybe no. But what they were looking at more of a ratification was paid time off, being able to, not be on call like they're on call all the time, being forced to work a lot of shifts that they don't want to work and those type of things, which I think they have a right to have that in black and white. This is what we're going to be doing and this is what we can do, because why should everything always favor big business, right? Why should it? It shouldn't. But when you get the government stepping in, whose side, and I'm not saying that they're going to be on one side or the other, so I'm not speculating. I'm just saying when you have, maybe what Sorrow, no, who's the guy that's big in the railroads? Oh my God, I can't think of his name. He was with Bill Gates. He was one of the guys with Bill Gates. What's, if you guys could help me out? Who was the big into railroads? Buffett. No, is yeah, William Buffett, right? But it wasn't just Buffett. There's an other guy too, isn't it? Am I thinking? I know Warren Buffett's big into it as well. And I'm sure Warren Buffett's not making any kind of contributions to any political, things. So I'm actually wrong because you guys are right. It's Warren Buffett. I was thinking of who's the guy there with Bill Gates? Paul Allen, I think is the one I was thinking of, and I definitely was wrong on that. So anyway, but you're talking big business, big business, and so would the government side on that side? Do you think, or would they actually look out for the workers? I think that answer is obvious. I think that answer is obvious. Have you gotten to enjoy owning a semi-auto rifle now that you're in West Virginia? I will plead the fifth on that. Right to arms. I will plead the fifth on that. So I don't, like I said, I don't have any guns. That was always my answer. It was always the right answer. Hey, Mountain Kayaker, Congress is working on a digital ID passport. Gates is funding it. Wow, what a shock. Actually, I'll tell you what I did see today. And I personally, I laughed. I did laugh. I gotta admit, I laughed. So you have oh God, I'm trying to think of the organization here in the United States. Political arm of the government. Not political, I mean medical arm of the government. Going blank here, guys. Can't believe it. Who's the one? The CDC, I think it is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, CDC. And one of the guys, yes, thank you. Like completely for a second, it was gone. So what happened was the one of the heads of the CDC comes out and said, and it wasn't Fauci. It wasn't Fauci because he's a government guy. The CDC is a different part, but I'm sure they're not in anything to get making money, even though they're the one that makes the flu shot every year. Isn't that interesting how that works? They recommend you get something that they're directly involved in the manufacture of, which it benefits who? The CDC. Interesting concept how that works, but that is interestingly enough how it works. But anyway, and I'm not making any judgment on that. I'm not saying anything, not speculating, not doing anything like that, because heaven forbid that I would have an opinion on what was being done or said, because if it isn't going along right with what they say, well then you could be accused of giving false information, and we do not want to do that, of course, right? But anyway, so he comes out today, this individual, and says the latest, right, the latest one of that if you get that, getting your latest one that they've come out with, that there's almost no chance that you would die from that virus. And I had to laugh because, in my humble opinion, so far as we have watched things progress and how things have gone, um, do they have a lot of credibility? And that's just a question. I'm not saying that they do. I'm not saying that they don't. So again, please don't put words into my mouth. I'm asking questions. I'm just asking questions. And I find it very, very interesting that they would come out with that. So of course they're recommending everybody from 12 on up to get that, of course, right? Along with your seasonal flu shot, of course, because not that that's gonna not benefit you, because of course that's gonna benefit you. The P company came out and said it wasn't tested for transmission. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that company came out. I did see that as well. So that's an interesting thing as well. But hear that YouTube a year from now, he's just asking. Yeah, hear that a year from now, right? All I'm doing is I ask questions. I'm not giving an opinion. I'm letting you form your own opinions. I just share information of what they're giving us. I find and it's weird. I watched another video, and they were explaining, I guess, or showing how the numbers of things could possibly, not saying that they were, not saying that there was any kind of manipulation, I'm not saying that, but they were showing that how there's a possibility that the information was skewed, and how that skewing would be possibly done. And I thought that that was quite interesting. Thought that that was quite interesting, you know. So, but yeah, I just, like I said again, I just, once again, I'm not telling you to do something. I am not telling you not to do something. We all have to make our own judgments for our own. Um, yes, the Congresswoman switched parties. Yep. And that's actually not a surprise. That's not a surprise, um, Sharon. But yes, I did see where she decided to do that. But, uh, but again, so we all have choices that we need to make. We can choose to do something, or we can choose not to do something. I'm not here to tell you what you should do or what you should not do. What I am here to tell you is to do your research, get your information before you make a decision of what you want to do. That's all I would ever tell you guys. Because, like I said, I'm not living your life. I'm living my life. I know what my decisions are. I think anybody that watches this channel knows what my decisions are, and they're not going to change, no matter what kind of crap that is put out there by anybody. Right? Very, very non-committal there. I'm going to make my own decisions based on information that I've seen. But so we're going to get off of that topic because I definitely don't want to get into a hotbed of that topic. Had I closed my PayPal account, so it may cancel subscription to you. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, all right. Well, that's yeah, definitely. Find out what you got to do there. Yeah, I know. That was the thing. I saw that too. Where might as well talk about that too, right? Where now PayPal, and see, here's what I have a real serious problem with any company or any organization deciding what is the accepted narrative and then basing their decisions on that based on what you may think or what you may say. I just I think that is insanity that they're going to be allowed to find people based on their own rhetoric of what they believe is to be the case. So we got to talk about this real quick because if anybody's seen my motorcycle helmet, you probably haven't seen the back of my motorcycle helmet, but I have. You may have because Heather's videotaped from behind there, so you may have seen the back of my helmet. I have a little montage to Kanye West um, on the back of my helmet. So it starts with an F and it ends with a K, and describing Kanye West. So, but anyway, uh, Kanye West is a nut job. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Keeps continuing to open his mouth and put his foot in his mouth. And yeah, fire truck. Yeah, there you go. Yes, exactly, exactly. But the guy is he's an egomaniac, and I think he's nuts anyway. But and then he's going to come out and again, and I'm going to say this, guys, because I really don't get it. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Why the hatred so much from so many people for the Jewish race? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I never will. Never get it in a million years. Again, as you guys know, I could care less what anybody's religion is. I don't care. I base my assessment on people based on their character, how they treat people, how they act, and how they are. You know, in those type of things. That's me. Like I said, if you want to worship a stapler, if that's the biggest thing in your world, and you want to worship a stapler, my thing is knock yourself out. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? So I don't get it. But yeah, it's just it. I don't know. Like I said, and so obviously he's catching a lot of feedback right now because of statements that he has made. Yes, my stapler. What's that? The Office? No, that was Office Space. Movie Office Space. Anybody that watched that movie, you know what I'm talking about. Have you seen my red stapler? Great movie, by the way. Absolutely great movie. Love, love, love that movie. Jennifer Aniston's in it. So yeah, it's a very funny movie. Anyway, so you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's when a person came out with my stapler. I already knew exactly what he was talking about. That's funny. But yeah, it's just I just whatever happened, and I'm curious. This is again, I guess I like to ask a lot of questions because a lot of things I don't get. Whatever happened to live and let live? You live your life, I live my life. We respect each other. We respect our differences. And if there's certain topics that we don't agree on, we agree to disagree. We can still be friends, which imagine that concept, still be friends and be able to live in peace with each other. How weird would that be? What a concept, right? Man, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I just don't. What happened to that? What happened to it? It just because now if you don't agree with either whatever the narrative that is being put out there, or if you are not being politically correct with whatever the case may be, and I can give you a laundry list of crap there, right? Then you're either automatically you're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're this, you're that. I'm going to give you an example of this. I mean, how crazy things have gotten. Nick Boa, I think is how you say his name, uh, lineman for the San Francisco 49ers. And they had a video, right? And so they're trying to say that he's some kind of a racist. He's a racist because he ignored the little black children in the stands, and there was a black fan there. And what he did, and I watched the video, and he took off his gloves, and he handed his one glove to one kid, and then there was these other kids over here, and he tossed that glove over there to them. Um, you know, he wasn't going up and fist bumping anybody in the crowd or anything like that. So, but all of a sudden now he's like this big, oh, he's a racist, he's this, he's that. I mean, why? Because he didn't go up and embrace the black folks in a big bear hug? 90% of his teammates on the team are probably black. It's insanity. It's insanity. So you are perceived, and this is the problem with society today. This is the problem with our society today. They will make a judgment on you based on minimal information. And right, some people are looking for an excuse to be offended. Okie Forge, great, great statement, and you're correct. They're looking for not only are they looking for an excuse to be offended, they are looking for that excuse to be the social justice warrior. Look at I'm defending black people. I can't be a racist because I'm on your side. There is no sides. We're human beings. How about that? Well, how about that concept? Why, weird, weird concept. How about I treat you like you're another human being? Wow. Why do you have to be a this color friend or a that color friend? Why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really truly don't. So, but we live in a totally screwed up world. Totally screwed up world. But if there was actual evidence where he like went and like shook this kid's hand and shook this kid's hand, skipped the black kids, and then went over to these people, if there was something like that, then I would say you might have something going there. But that wasn't the case. So they're trying to make something out of nothing, which is sad. So, but and people wonder why. People wonder why people got themselves all worked up and they're all upset. Hey, mountain kayaker, these people are paid agitators. A lot of them, yes, I agree with that. There's a lot of that going on. And again, you got to remember, see, let's talk about the agenda, the real true agenda, right? Let's talk about the real true agenda. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. So let's talk about the real agenda. Let's keep us all fighting. All right, I talk about this at the end of every one of my videos, every one of these live streams. Keep us divided, keep us fighting amongst ourselves. So if I can hate this guy because he's a different skin color than I am, or if I can hate that guy because he's a different religion than I am, or I can hate this guy because heaven forbid, you know, I'm a Republican and he's a Democrat, or I'm an independent and I'm on that fence, I mean, I do my own thinking for myself and I won't pick a side. And then once you pick a side, oh my God, you better stay on that side. We're the ones that are right. No, we're the ones that are right. So that self-righteous nonsense, right? How about, again, we have mutual respect for everybody. We put all that nonsense behind us and we stop letting them manipulate us. And then maybe, I know this is a weird concept. I know, heaven forbid that I would actually think this way. Instead of fighting amongst ourselves for the scraps at the table, we could focus on what the real problem is, which is two things, guys. And I've said this many, many times. One is big business that wants to control every aspect of your life, every aspect of your life. How much you pay for your gas and electric bill, how much you pay for your gasoline, what you're paying for your groceries, right? All those aspects of your life, everything controlling what you can and cannot do. Look at all the laws that are put in place every day that they're trying to pass nonstop and constantly to control you in the guise of your safety. We're making it safe. It's safe. We're going to have all these great gun laws and we're going to make things safe, which is crap. You're never going to, because of the simple fact is criminals are still going to get guns no matter what the gun laws are, because they don't care about gun laws. All gun laws do is it restricts law-abiding citizens from being able to defend and protect themselves. That's it. That's it. But if we could ever go after big business and then the government, right? Because the government is the issue. It's a problem with what's going on. It's a problem because if you don't think that they don't want to control you, then you better wake up. You better wake up, because that's exactly when you have an institution. All right, let's think about this for a second. Ed, give us an example of how is the government trying to control us? Well, let's see. When the government comes out and says, if you work for the government, you have to have this, or you lose your job. Or if you work for New York City and you're a fireman, a police officer, or a nurse or a doctor, you have to have this, or you're going to lose your job. That's somebody else controlling your life, controlling what you do with yourself, and and that's not right. If you don't believe or agree with it, what is being put out there for whatever the case may be, because you won't give in and do what you're told, you are punished, you are ostracized. You can't go to the restaurant and eat, because only people that have on their phone showing what they've done to prove that they're safe, right? Think about that. And I'm going to tell you what, it's an election year, right? So enjoy your freedoms, folks. Enjoy your freedoms from now until the election, because it's already been talked about. Oh, there's going to be a big spike in stuff. November, December, January, we'll get into flu season. The virus will be back. We're going to have to probably implement more control at that point. Wouldn't shock me if it happened. Not saying it's going to, not saying it's going to, but they have already putting in the groundwork, saying, "Oh, this is going to be a real bad season for viruses, for the flu and those type of things. It's going to be a real bad season." They're already talking about it, folks. And imagine how all of a sudden now is the time. Now is the time before your gatherings for Thanksgiving and Christmas, when you're going to get together with your families and all those type of things. Um, Now is the time to protect yourself and to protect others, right? Listen to the rhetoric, listen to what they tell you. They're giving it away, but everything's going to be great. I believe, my opinion, strictly my opinion, everything's going to be great right up until after the election. And then after the election, when everybody's safe for the next 2 years, then we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It will definitely be interesting. Did you see Angry Prepper's video on PayPal? I did not, and I know what PayPal's doing, and I did see that as well. And so again, like I said, I am not, my yeah, I that they can fine people like $2,500 if they feel that they're spreading false information. And here's the problem that I have with that. And again, and I've talked about this before. Who's right? Who's the one saying that this is accurate and right information? Because if that's the case, and remember Rachel Maddow, and I'm going to bring these things up because these things are important. You got to pay attention to these things. Rachel Maddow sat on TV, sat on TV, and said, if you get this, it stops it right there. It doesn't spread. Nobody else can get it. You get this, you're safe. Everybody else is safe around you. Who remembers that, right? Who remembers that? Was she ever dinged? Was she ever brought up on the fact that that was false information? Did she ever bring that? Was that ever brought up? Did she ever get in trouble because she was spreading false information? Right? Was that ever brought up? Because then all of a sudden, if you guys remember, after that, what had happened, we had some breakthrough cases, right? Right. I remember that. I remember that too. I remember people being triple and quadruple this, and they still got it. How does that work? Right. So, no, you know what, Viking Prepper, I got you, but I'm not making a statement of anything negative. I'm not making a statement. I'm going on the information that is out there. Mr. Rose, I responded to a Facebook post LBGTQ. Do you, BU, just leave the kids alone? Internal Affairs has me under investigation. Unbelievable, man. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. That sucks. Heaven forbid that, you would expect that they leave children alone. How dare you, Mr. Rose? How horrible of you to do that. And again, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you for the donation. But that's nonsense. That is nonsense that you're having to go through that with internal affairs, really, over that statement. Heaven forbid, right? Again, I'm not saying, again, I'm not, I just, let me just be clear. Okay, just be clear. I'm not saying that this works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you have somebody gives out information that is in the public eye, like Rachel Maddow, and it's proven that that is false information, that is false information. What are the repercussions for them? What was her punishment? What was her punishment? That's what I want to know. Hey Don, hope you and your family are doing well, dude. I watched the interview with ye. Have uh have you? So if so, what are your thoughts? Thanks. I did not watch the interview with him. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of his. So but I appreciate the donation and thank you for asking that question. I really don't watch him. I mean, he does make good points on some things. I definitely will say that. But again, I'm not a real big fan of his. So I didn't like him from a long, long time ago. When you have somebody that basically gets up there and says that I'm the greatest, this or that or the other thing, their head's gotten way too big and it's way too swollen. And that's what he was doing, if you guys remember, way back before he got any kind of political or any of that other stuff. He was trouting himself to be the greatest of whatever, and I just was like, okay, that turns me off. It really does. So, but anyway, but yeah, that's messed up, Mr. Rose, that you would have to be dealing with that over something so trivial. Heaven forbid, heaven forbid that you would actually have an opinion, right? We've come a long way in this country with certain things. We are definitely, I have a very strong grievance ready. I stated my opinion. That's my First Amendment right. Absolutely. And I agree with you 100%. And it wasn't like you were attacking that community. You were just saying to leave the kids out of it. And like I said, and I've talked about it on here, a little bit. No, we're not on topic prep rebel. Of course we're not. I've talked about it on here, certain things that I have agreed with or disagreed with that is done. And like I said, kids should be left alone to be kids. Different things should not be pushed on them. That's just kind of my opinion. And if somebody comes out at a certain point and they are whatever they are, uh, As a parent, I will tell you this, and I strongly believe this with my whole heart. You know, any child that comes to their parent and says, I'm homosexual or I'm lesbian or transgender, whatever the case may be, you as a parent may not agree with that. You may not agree with that, and that's okay. But that's still your child, and you should love that child no matter what. Unfortunately, and I've seen this, through my years in working and working in the field. I've worked with a lot of lesbians. I've worked with a lot of homosexuals. Um, that judgment, and families throw that child away like they're garbage because they don't go with what they believe. There's a lot of alcoholism, a lot of drug use in the gay community because of the non acceptance, especially by people that are supposed to love them, which is sad. I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't, and this is truest statement as I can put it. If Eddie and Heather both came to me and said, we're gay and this is what they're still my children and I still love them. Alls I want for my kids is a partner that's going to treat them with respect and dignity, period, regardless of who it is. And if you disagree with that, that's your right to disagree with that. I don't care. Because here's the weird part. As a parent, I love my children unconditionally. Unconditionally. If my kid, um, if my kid came home with spiked green hair with crap all in their face, not my thing. Don't necessarily like that, okay? But it's still my kid. Same type of premise. So I think as parents, you know, Sharon Barrett said, "I love my brother who is now a girl," and there's nothing wrong with that. It's your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father. Whatever the case may be. Who are we? See, and I'm going to go back. See, and I love to use this. I love to use this because it really pisses the people that are the biggest haters of this. Okay, right in the Bible, judge not, lest ye be judged. Right? Remember that one? Some of them like to use it selectively. It's used selectively. Well, we can judge this, and that's okay, but we shouldn't be judging anybody. Um, you know, he who is without sin shall cast the first stone. So think about that one too. See, it's weird. You guys will be like, well, wait a minute, prepper nurse, you're not religious. No, but guess what? I know my Bible. I know the Bible. So you know what? There you go. And so again, treat people with respect, dignity. Your children are your children. You should love them unconditionally, no matter what. And I'm sorry if you disagree with this part of it. You can disagree with it or you cannot. It doesn't really matter. I don't believe it's a choice. Nobody wakes up one day and decides, hey, wow, you know what? Today I'm going to start doing this. Don't work like that. You either have a proclivity, yeah, I can say it right. Either you have that or you don't. And remember this, folks, okay? Animal kingdom. We are part of the animal kingdom. 70% heterosexual, 20% bisexual, and 10% homosexual. Across the line. Don't matter. Now, can somebody who is straight go into prison and they are taken advantage of? Absolutely. Those type of things, they happen all the time. But that's a different type of setting. You know, nobody's going to chase you down the street and attack you and make you turn into anything. It doesn't work like that. Okay. And that animal statistic is BS. Wait, Rick, thank you for your opinion. Um, you can think whatever you want, and that's fine. You can think whatever you want, but that's the reality. That is the reality with human beings, um, and animals as well. I've seen it, so But anyway, again, you can disagree with me or you can disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. So what I'll tell you what'll end up happening. I'm going to tell you right now what'll end up happening. Well, because Prepper Nurse One had this opinion, I'm unsubscribing. Right? Guess what? Knock yourself out. I have the right to think the way that I want to, and it's weird. It's weird. I'm non-judgmental. Imagine that. Wow, what a concept, right? I don't care who you do what with, as long as it's two consenting adults. If you want to tie yourself up, wrap yourself in plastic and pour Jello on yourselves. I mean, who am I to tell you what's right or what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? So, and I just made that up as I went there. I'm trying to be as non anything, but again, treat each other with respect, no matter what. That's kind of where I'm at. But I really do have a real problem with people who claim to love their children. Notice what I say? Claim to love their children, but when their child does something that they don't disagree or agree with, or isn't with their moral compass, they're going to disown them. You know? No, okay, mountain kayaker, yes, and I agree with you 100% on that. I will never support pedophilia. You guys know how I feel about pedophiles. I've talked about how I felt about pedophiles. I believe there is one cure for a pedophile, period, and it's something that goes right here, and they will never ever harm another child again. So that, and what did I just say? Two consenting adults. Did I not say that? I did. So no, that other thing, there is no forgiveness for that, in my opinion. So there I am being judgmental, right? I'm judgmental. So Randy Romance unsub. Yeah, there you go. Ah, what a world! What a world we live in. It's very, very interesting. But again, you know what? Why not treat each other decently? It just takes very little time. Very little time. But it's just kids sometimes wish they were the opposite sex. That doesn't mean that they're ready for a sex change. If they get grown and want to do it, that's different. I used to wish I was a boy when then I grew out of it. And you know what? And there's nothing wrong. You're right. When they become old enough to make those decisions, they should have that opportunity to make those decisions. Nothing should be pushed on anybody. Um, it- and so. But anyhow, so that's that. I don't mind if my candidate loses, but it's wrong to rub it in. You know what? I hear you. I hear you. Or it's wrong to get so flipped out because your candidate lost that you're going to unsubscribe friends and stuff like that because they're happy that their candidate won. I've seen that happen too. So, but yeah, life is interesting. Yeah, but like I said, I don't believe that children should be, manipulated in any way ever. I don't think that that's right. Because a parent doesn't like the fact that their son is a boy and they make him do things that he wouldn't normally do and he doesn't know any better. What do you do then, right? What do you do then? So, um, yeah, it's almost egg count time. We're going to get absolutely off this topic because this is probably a dangerous topic to be talking about no matter what. And the other part of what we were talking about earlier, same type of thing. We should leave these things alone. But like I said, to me, if you're gonna do so, my point that we'll do the egg count here in a moment. But the point I was making earlier on the earlier statement about like with Rachel Maddow, if there is a standard that is put out there, it should apply to everyone. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because this side makes a statement and it turns out down the road to be untrue, why are they not punished? Right? Why, when I've made a statement about something a year and a half later, that I'm going to get a strike for it? Does that make any sense? Not to me, it doesn't. But that's I don't know. Um, what's going on with Mr. Rose? Well, shoot me a text later. That's all. Just shoot me a text. But If everyone always agreed, we would not have a debate club in high school. Exactly, exactly. But and just so you guys know again, and I'm going to reiterate this. So everybody's talking about Tushy switching over from a Democrat to a Republican now. I'm going to put it out here again, as I have done many times. We're going to do egg count in just a second. Okay. Always looking for legal advice. I got you. Well, yeah, Jen can help him there. Jen can help him there. Um, Republican, Democrat, two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird. At the end of the day, they're going to watch out for their rich friends, the special interest groups that got them elected, and screw the rest of us. So if you think that it really makes that big of a difference, this party or that party, at the end of the day, folks, it really doesn't. Because if it did, that every time one party got elected, things would be substantially better and they would continue to get better. Why would you not want things to continuously get better? Why would you vote the other side in? But what they do, both sides, this side gets in, they vilify the crap out of them. If there's any way that they can undermine anything that they possibly can, they do it. And then when 4 years later their side wins, it's the same thing that happens all over again. And it's just a vicious cycle and it never changes. Nothing ever changes except that the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and that's just how it works. It's just how it works. So until that system, that entire system changes, nothing's ever going to change. My 2 cents. I could be, yeah, well, a new party, but we'd have to have a third party could possibly make a difference, but would it really? Think about that. Would it really at the end of the day? I don't know. Hard to tell. All right. Anyway, egg count time. How many eggs today? And yes or no did thick neck lay? So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses up there, and we will go from there. Let's give you guys a minute. Yeah, I have to be careful what I say on here because it can be misconstrued, and I don't want things to be misconstrued. So definitely have to be very, very careful. So I'll give you. I got to turn this fan on. So give me just 1 second. I know how you're good girl. With the light on right there, and it beats down on me, it gets very, very warm. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Dan Fortier, Dan Fortier with 4 eggs and no for thick neck today, then you are 100% correct. I keep telling you guys, this is the time of year that Miss Thickneck goes on sabbatical. Very rarely does she lay this time of year. So, um, just some advice, just giving you a little bit of a heads up for the next, egg count and live stream. So, but so Dan is the winner. You won absolutely nothing, Dan. Congratulations. But yeah, their egg counts are down. Right now, the egg count's down no matter what. Anyway, just simply because they're molting. It is that time of year, and so that's what they're doing. So anyway, one of the things if you guys had watched the video that I had done earlier today, I went out and I picked up a couple of metal drums, the bigger metal drums, and 55-gallon drums, and it's got the lid on it that can be removed. It's got a gasket seal, and then you clamp it down. So I'm not sure if it's going to be waterproof or not, but it'll be really, really. It's a good thing to have. And once I get my root cellar in place, and that part of that done, I could so what I'm going to do is I have a lot of stuff in 5-gallon buckets. Anybody that's watched this channel for any length of time knows uh, I've been using 5-gallon buckets. Then I switched to the gamma lids, which I like the gamma lids as well, right? Yes, Dowell's Home said I did get the link. I did reply to you too, I do believe. But yes, I got the link for the medical supplies, so thank you for that. That was awesome. If it's sealed, yes, it's waterproof. Voice of the people. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that. I kind of figured because of that gasket, and once it was clamped down, I figured that it was waterproof. But anyway, I think it's a great way to store things in an area that may be compromised by rodents. You'd never know with rats or mice that they will chew through a bucket. Now, I can honestly say I've been doing, 5-gallon buckets since 2004. Is it 2004? No, 2000. Oh, trying to remember. No, 2005. Since 2005, I've been using buckets. Started out with the Home Depot buckets, the orange ones, so I got a bunch of those. And then I switched over to the white buckets, and then the vacuum seal, or not, I mean, the Gamma lids after that. But, you know, yeah, don't use those watertight seals to go over Niagara Falls. That's good advice. That's very good advice there. But anyway, I'm going to use them in function. Now, I have not lost one bucket in all the years that I've been doing a 5-gallon bucket. I have not lost one bucket in that time frame. So that's a good thing. Would the metal ones be subject to possible rusting? Yes, Lori Goldsmith. Over time, yes. You could put a sealer on them, and that would absolutely help. So I don't think that that would be a bad thing as well. So, but anyway, again, it's one of the other works, but I know this, that if I have the steel cans, the metal 55-gallon drums, mice, rats are not going to eat into that no matter what. That I know. So, that's that was a good thing. Hey, Ben and Breakfast, haven't caught you live in a while. Just throwing you a tip. You've got friends in Virginia. When I can, I'll contact you about linking up out your way if you're interested. Cheers. Yes, absolutely. Please do so. I would appreciate that. And thank you very much for the donation. And thanks for that information. Because, yeah, shoot me an email, give me your phone number, and I'll give you a buzz. So thank you. I appreciate that. But, again, like I said, a bucket, a plastic bucket can be eaten through. Okay. So they, that's just, but they will not eat through a metal thing. So that's why, like with the feed, I have, like I said, I up in New York, I use the galvanized trash cans up in New York. These would even be better because I could put the feed right into those 55-gallon drums. There's more room. It's not. It's going to take up less space. So, but here's the other aspect, and you need to think about this. If I put those 55-gallon drums someplace and then I fill them up with food, which will be a lot, I'm not moving them unless I have some kind of a dolly. All right. So, that is the case with that. So, but you have to, you know, do what's best for you. I'm just thinking, not once I'm underground and I have, my storage that I want to have underground, it's a possibility that there could be, it could be compromised area with rodents. I don't know. If the way I plan on building it, it probably won't be. Hey, Lena, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So I don't know if that's gonna, it's gonna be in a. All I know, like I said again, the one thing I know for a fact, a plastic bucket can be compromised by a rodent. A steel barrel will not be. So again, you have to. I had a mouse eat through a metal lid. I never seen that, Lynn S. I've never seen that. So I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not calling you a liar. But a mouse eat through a metal lid, very doubtful. So I think there may have been some other stuff going on there. And again, I'm not calling you a liar. Okay, so please don't take it that way. So metal lid is not the same as a steel on a 55-gallon buck. Or yeah, no, yeah. So, but yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying it's going to be much more protected. So $50 a barrel is actually a good price. Yeah, I thought so. I absolutely thought so as well. So, um, you know, that's why, like I said, I went there today to check out what they had. Again, the totes, the big totes that like I got here, the 275-gallon totes, they were selling them for 80. So really good deal on those as well. You know, and I probably will down the road pick up more of those as well. That's you know, as we get things more organized here and get things more squared away. Just so you know, too, the one off of the battery room. Now, since I've been back down here, it hasn't rained at all since I've been back down this time. We do have rain in the forecast for overnight into the morning, and then it's going to be all gone. I think by 1 o'clock, they said then it's going to be fine again. But that's completely full. It's absolutely completely full. So it's a very good thing. Very, very good thing. And so there's, you know, like I said, there's 275 gallons of water. Now, will that freeze in the wintertime? Yep, sure will. Okay. So, you know, I have to look at what, you know, options I have to try to keep that warmer. So, Ed, is that true metal? Not the not Ed. That's true metal is not steel. Um, I don't know exactly what you're asking. I think these are. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure if they're metal or steel. They're not super heavy, but they're solid enough. Yeah, put them barrels on skids so to keep them off the ground, no rust. Great point, Jay, and thank you for that. Actually, when I plan on building the storage room for this, just so you guys know too, and I actually will do that because I think that that's a really good idea. I wanted to have them up off of the ground anyway. Barrels are made from sheet metal. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Still, a rat or a mouse is not eating through that. EV3 Dale says, put all your food and water stores on pallets. You must get everything off the ground. Good point. Good point. So, yeah, that's kind of where I definitely want to do that. Did you feel an earthquake yesterday? I heard there was one in your area. I did not. I did not feel an earthquake at all. Adirondack Camping Adventure says you can buy stainless steel barrels as well. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely store them up on pallets once we're underground. That I will actually do that. But I'm going to have a regular floor, regular walls in these rooms that I'm going to have underground. It's not going to be dirt, so nothing's going to be chewing through the wall, and it's going to be all concrete block and rebar and all that type of stuff in those areas. So it's going to be pretty solid is the game plan. So it's going to take a long time. My boss, who trained me up on the contract, was a union president for 18 years. He retired. He's a pit bull. He could grieve anything away. Management was scared of him. Um, he says he is surprised. Yeah, well, yeah, it's crazy. Oh, so so somebody had said, and I just in a comment earlier today about the barrels that like Lowe's and Home Depot will sell a plastic liner that will fit into that barrel, so it's an extra layer of protection. I thought that that was a good thing as well. So uh, anything that anything that you do that's going to make those type of things more sturdy, I think is a really good thing. Always want to protect your supplies. Now I vacuum seal everything, just so you guys know as well, and I think that's another reason why I haven't had an issue with insects and or not insects, but like rats or mice, because it's vacuum sealed. Then it's in a 5 gallon bucket, and then it's sealed again. So extra layer protection. And like somebody had said, if they can't smell it, they won't go after it. That may be the case. I don't know. So so all right. So actually, where is my? Oh, so I got to tell you guys, I have been on a freaking roll down here. I mean, an absolute roll. Where did I put that? Now I just got to find out where I put that. Where is it? All right, give me a moment. I got to find my. Where did I put my binder? I thought it was right here. Yeah, it is. Okay, I got it. I was gonna say I didn't think that it was off somewhere. So I've been on a roll. If you saw this camper 2 weeks ago, you would have thought that there was a pack rat in here because it was just because I keep bringing stuff down, and then it kind of just got like set in places, and then it just kind of got left there. All right. Um, and I was like, that was one of the reasons why I reorganized the battery room and got that squared away and got everything put together there. And yeah, it just, I was like, I got to get things organized. And as long you can have a lot of stuff, but as long as it's organized, it's going to be in better shape. So, did the battery room first. A lot of stuff went from inside the camper, could go into the battery room. And yeah, Jen, I cleaned the camper. Wait till you see it this weekend. So that's my point I was going to make. So I some stuff went into the battery room. Some stuff went into the shipping container, and so trying to get more organized. And so got things more cleaned up in here. And I actually have like shelf space now. Actually, I can kind of turn this. I'll show you guys. Uh, I actually have shelf space. This is more organized over here. I got my dishes actually up in the cupboard. I've been wanting you guys. You have no idea, and I'm like really OCD when it comes to that type of crap. It's like I cannot stand disorganization. I like things to be organized. So I definitely, yeah, you can see the stove. I know it's crazy, and so yeah, it was just really, really happy. I feel better. I could actually have three people sit on my couch now, which is was not possible before because I had so much crap. Because like it was like there was an area that one person could sit on the couch, right, and the rest was just piled up with stuff. So definitely much better. So I'm really, and I'm saying I'm like holy crap, I'm like really getting organized here, which is kind of scary, but it was time. It was definitely time to get things more squared away. So are you telling me your New York place is organized? New York is somewhat organized. So I will tell you this about my New York property. Okay, with the amount of stuff that I've brought from New York to down here. Now my room in New York is like holy crap, much more empty. It is unbelievably much more empty. If you saw the one loft on the one side, you'd be like, holy crap, that is really empty up on there. And I've been working on the last trip that I was up. I grabbed stuff off of the other loft and I started bringing more of that stuff down. And I will continue to do that yeah, instant coffee. Got to have the instant coffee up over here. Absolutely. Got all my different books up here that are helpful, good educational books. So, but all right, I know I'm like way behind here now, of course, because that's what I do. I get rambling on other things, but I just wanted to say that definitely getting more organized. So the other part, walking through here. Okay, I'll just tell you this right now, and I'll show you this really quickly. I'll show you this. So there's Miss Hella sleeping on the floor, but all this area through here, um, literally there was a path. There was a path that you could walk through, and I was like, I have got to get this cleaned up. So yeah, it's so I did, and it's much better, and it's more open, and I like that. So, but all right, so we're gonna do shout outs now that we're well past the time to normally do shout outs. We're gonna start out with Icky Can up in Canada. There's also Angry Prepper down in New York City. Love Jason, so I definitely think you guys should support him. You have Alaska Prepper, who is Rudy. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels. And so definitely check both of those out as well. You have North Shore Preparedness also up in Canada, so definitely check him out. There's Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizza Rizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Definitely check him out as well. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast with Adam and Dax. So definitely check him out. Good show that he puts on out there. Let's see. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star with Cody. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily. Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota. Kyle and Sarah up there, a nice young couple. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team, two different channels. So definitely go show them some support. A lot of good information with them. They split their time between Minnesota and Alaska. There is Green Greg's, Southern Prepper 1, Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy, another really good channel. Definitely check them out. A lot of good information with them. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. There is the Green Dream Project, who is out in Arizona. Camping with Steve. There is Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works, the Needy Homesteader, Boss of the Swamp. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Love Diamond. I think he's a great guy. A lot of good information. Very, very smart individual. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer. There's Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist, Bushcraft Bear over in the Canary Islands in Lipama. Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley with a lot of good information over there. So definitely check her out. You have Adapt 2030. There's Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer. If you're getting your weather, you better be getting it from Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, y'all. Love Ryan Hall. I think he's awesome. Great weatherman. Keeps you updated on what's going on. And if there's a storm, he will get on there and stay online and try to help out. You have Russell Brand. Love Russell Brand. He makes you think, which I think is a good thing. So definitely check him out as well. Let's see. Deep South Homestead. You have The Outsider. There is The Fit Farmer. Prep Rebel is another channel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There's Townsend's. The Prepared Mind out in California. You have Pinball Preparedness out in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty, who is also in Tennessee. So a lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. Again, I really truly believe that we should be supporting each other and encouraging people to look at different concepts, look at different viewpoints. I come from probably a different viewpoint than a lot of people, and that's okay. Doesn't make me right, doesn't make them wrong. It's just a different perspective. It's just a different, way of looking at things, and I think that that's an important aspect of doing things. And so, but what do we got here? Everybody's got a bunch of other channels on here, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I just give you a bunch of them. If you want to support them, that's great. Please tell them that Prepper Nurse One sent you over, and I do appreciate that as well. Trump and/or his daughter may run in 2024. I personal opinion. I had a buddy of mine ask me this, and he said, "Do you think Trump will run in 24?" And I said, "I don't think so. Uh, too much, too much decisiveness. Now he may. If he did, it's because just his ego. But I would be very, very surprised if he ran. That's just my opinion. Just because the galvanization of hatred against him uh, would be something that like I don't know how many of you remember, and I mean how many politicians, how many pundits, how many you know celebrity Hollywood types sat there and was like, oh, there's no way he's getting elected. There's absolutely he has no chance, and he did. So that was I think that was interesting. But like I said, it's just we'll see what happens. Moving forward here, it'll be interesting to see. Wouldn't shock me to see DeSantis from Florida run. Uh, I think that he would garner a lot of support. So there's a lot more people who love Trump than hate him. And you know what, Sonia, I'm thinking his age is going to be a factor. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, that's like I said, strictly. I'm not basing it on anything. I'm just saying that I would be very surprised if he runs again. Oh, JJ, of course, yes. Heather's website as well for her Etsy account. If you guys want to go over there and check that out, so definitely do that as well. So and JJ has a link up there for Heather's. She does jewelry and she also does cat hats and knitting and stuff like that as well. So, all right. So where are we at here, time wise? Got to look at that. What are we at? 261. We got like what 9 minutes to go here. Let's see if we can get up to 300 thumbs up. I don't even think I've even asked tonight, have I? I don't know. If you have not shot a thumbs up though, would you please do so to show support for the channel? Also, again, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms. So I appreciate that. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So I hadn't asked until now. Okay, yeah. So I didn't think that I did. We got rolling on different things, and that's what happens. All right. So we are Legion because we are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? So let us do that. We have BC, Canada, Fort Worth, Texas, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Waterloo, New York, Dayton, Ohio, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Bumstead, Florida, Thief River Falls, Minnesota, Central Missouri, Inverness, Florida, with Clyde in the house. We have Kansas, St. Augustine, Florida, Connecticut, BC, Canada, North Highlands of California, Vancouver Island in Canada, West Virginia, Delaware, Central Iowa, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Western New York, Mount Charleston, North Nevada, I believe. We got Hawaii's in the house, Somerset, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Littleton, New Hampshire, Cape Cod, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Southwest Virginia with Jen. I might know where you are. West Virginia with Morning Light, Missouri in the Ozarks, Erin, Tennessee, East Tennessee in the Appalachia, Princeton, West Virginia, Pensacola, Florida, Bay of Islands, Newfoundland, Campbell, Missouri, uh, Gatlin, Pennsylvania. We have North Carolina, Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, Gulf Coast of Florida, Providence Village, Texas, Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia, uh, Flint, Michigan, Northeast Pennsylvania, Las Vegas, Nevada. Love Vegas. A lot of good town to party. Been there a few times. Daphne, Alabama. We have Citrus County, Big Lake, Alaska. Very cool. Glad to have you here. Asif's in the house. Stream's almost over, and now he shows up. So we'll even do it for Asif. Uh, South Carolina. There we go for Asif. Uh, so again, guys, we're all over the place. We're all over the country. We're a huge, huge network of people. We are truly the ones that can make a difference now and afterwards. We have North Georgia in the mountains with Ash Hill. So we're all over the place. Oklahoma's in the house with Hannah. But we have been awoken for a reason. We are not woke, we are awoken. Big difference. We're the ones that truly can make a difference. We can try to help educate and wake people up now. And I know a lot of times that falls on deaf ears, which is okay. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do to change that. But I will tell you this in the post event, people will listen. Asif, I laid 0 eggs today. Oh, there you go. Thank you for the donation, Asif. I appreciate that. But we're the ones in a post event that can really truly help people, and I think that we should try to do so if we can. And I think that that's a good thing because there's going to be a lot of people out there that absolutely have no clue what to do, how to do it. They have no skill sets to work with at all. And so, those of us that have been preparing, we can be the ones that can make a difference in their lives to help them, even if it's just to teach them how to help themselves. So I think that that's important to do so, and that's just my thought on that. When daylight savings time starts for y'all in other states, Tennessee stays the same time. Yeah, well, I think they're doing away with that finally, which is great. Oh, I'll tell you what, guys. Like I said, coffee, freeze dried coffee, 20-year shelf life. Good thing to have. Great barter item in a post event because people are still going to want that. So I think it's a good thing to have. And you did lay the same number of eggs as Thickneck, Asif. Yes, you did. Again, this is her time for going on sabbatical. When the weather gets cold, Thickneck says, I will not be laying. So what do we got? 290? 10 more to get us to 300, guys. Let's see if we hit 300 thumbs up. Like I said, I only asked it one time because I just kind of got on a roll today. But Awesome Sauce made a great point here, guys. Lots of people being bamboozled out there. They will need help. And yes, they will. All right, Jen, I'll give you a holler. All right, I can do that. Yeah, this is just honestly, this is just a small fraction of what I have. I have, I I have a tendency to go a bit overboard on things, and again, it's more of normalcy based. I think that in a post event, the more normal that we can have things as much as we possibly can, I think that that is a good thing. And so if we can do that, it makes a big difference. So, well, how is having a cup of coffee in the morning normal, right? Well, a lot of people have a cup of coffee in the morning. And, in a post event, if you don't have any more coffee, there was 4 eggs today, Asif, 4 eggs. If you don't have coffee, you're going to want a cup of coffee. And so, definitely. And Sonia, I have a ton of tea as well. I like tea myself. So I think that that's a good thing to have as well. So, but coffee is going to be a big thing for a lot of people. All right. So I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. I think they do an awesome job doing that. So I appreciate everything that they do. And it's very much appreciated. And I appreciate all you guys as well for being here in these streams. I think we have good conversations, and yeah, I'm cutting it after the stream. It's getting cut tonight because it's definitely this is too long. So yeah, even you can see. And here's the thing: is I was looking here on the side. There's a lot of white in there now. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where all that white came from. And it's like people say, "Oh, I'm going gray." I never went gray. I went from black. My facial hair is black. My hair on my head is brown. I went from black to white. It never went gray. Never had a gray hair in my life. It just strictly went from black to white. So, and yeah, as I get older, I still have like a little bit here on the sides. I got those couple of spots that have stayed black, but that's a losing battle. All right, guys, remember we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could ever get past the silliness and the nonsense of everything that is going on, they use race, religion, political affiliation, the vax, the unvax. These are tools used to keep us fighting amongst each other. It's a waste. It doesn't accomplish anything. It's never going to focus on what the real problems are, and that is big business and the government. If we could come together as human beings, we could fight the true enemies of of our countries, and that's who that is. I don't care what country you're in. That's who the enemy is. So, but if they can keep us all at each other's throats, then they win. So, congratulations. Most of the people out there are doing exactly what they want. Sadly. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step thing in day. One step at a time, one thing at a time and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, whatever you are trying to do, there's only one person that can stop you from achieving those goals, and that's you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive, stay away from negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish. I could not tell you how many people have said to me, "Oh, you can't do this or you can't do that." It doesn't make a difference. Do what you do, take care of your business, and you're going to be just fine. All right. I will talk to you all later. I hope everybody has a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.